3 Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? All right, this Monday on Raw, of course, was Legends Night, but I know not a lot of people catch much from Raw talk, but I loved what Mustafa Ali had to say on Raw talk. So I'm gonna play it here, and we can discuss this, and because I feel like this is what we should be getting from Retribution on Raw most weeks.
A night like tonight is exactly what is wrong with this company. 3 hours to guys that can barely walk?
Respect, dog.
Oh, respect. Listen. I'm not bewildered. I know exactly that the generation before me paved the way. But when the hell are you going to let me walk on that path? Guys like Drew Gulak, Akira Tozawa, myself, all of Retribution not on the show. Why? Because we need to hear what you gonna do, brother, again for the 7th millionth time.
But did you hear the cheers when you heard?
Yeah, they pumped them in real good. The cheers, they pumped them in real good for them. Huh? Yeah, they were cheering. I'm sure they were. Why don't you give us a chance? People that can contribute to this business, further this company. But no. Let's push them all aside. Let's give 3 hours to people that need... They can barely walk.
You got to change your attitude, first of all, to get a good, you know what I'm saying, to get a good spot.
And the reason they can't walk is because they had such successful careers in years past. You
Right.
know, with their bodies on the line to
do what? To further the
Legends,
industry,
man.
to allow this industry to grow. They paved the way. They carved a path. When do I get to walk on that path? And for anybody that doesn't understand what I'm saying, it's not because I'm talking fast. It's because you're listening slow. This place needs change, and I am that change.
Like, I love this segment. I love that Raw Talk has kind of that feel to what Talking Smack did, back when it was part of SmackDown Live on Tuesday nights. So obviously Legends Night is kind of used as a way to pop a rating, to get more eyes back on the product, at least for 1 week. And obviously at the start of the show, we were talking about Goldberg, and he's brought back. So kind of like looking at all of these things, from what Ali said to Legends Night to Bill Goldberg, seemingly here going to be getting a WWE championship shot against Drew McIntyre. Like, I liked what Ali said, because like sometimes it definitely does feel like guys are kind of going in an upward trajectory, and then they get knocked off by somebody on a return or something like that. So what if any way should WWE use Legends? And if you have a choice, how would they use them? How frequently should we see, Legends nights or a surprise drop in from a legend or two or things like that? Or it's like, is that even something that you give a shit about at this point? If anybody wants to jump in and give their thoughts first, feel free.
This Monday Night Raw showed a 20.5% jump in the ratings from last week's Raw. They're using the Legends exactly how they should use the Legends.
Do you think now, did you watch this week?
I don't know.
That's fair.
I did. I didn't care for the show.
Okay.
I didn't think it was a great Raw. And I thought it was boring for a Legends show. I guess I liked like the old school Raws better than just a Legends show. But it popped the ratings, so it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean it definitely did that part. And I think that, that was a huge part of what it was meant to do.
And for Mustafa Ali to be able to say what he said, Retribution had to be kept off Raw.
I agree. And sometime, and like, here's the thing, for a couple of weeks, they had, kind of been gaining traction. So what's the best way to, have continuity at a storyline with a group that, is kind of getting the shaft from the company? Is don't put them on the show. So I think that is smart booking as well. And it gives that opportunity to provide that promo on that forum.
We live in the nostalgia era. Like, all of our favorite television shows are getting rerun and redone. It's not anything different from wrestling. And like, I think that if the WWE wants to do it right, or differently, don't just do a Legends night. Have legends come in every so often. Like, commentary. Do a one-night angle with somebody. Not even wrestling. But like, if you had brought 3 legends back and you had Randy Orton do exactly what he did this week, cool.
Yeah.
And it doesn't pay off this week, and it pays off next week when Edge comes back or something. Like, however it pays off. Like, Randy Orton pisses off 3 legends, doesn't get anything. If we're going to talk Raw, my biggest problem with Raw is the fact that Goldberg can't tell the difference between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre.
Well, he doesn't like to wear the bifocals when he comes out, because with the pyro and stuff, it just
everything he said about Drew McIntyre is exactly what Randy Orton did, literally the entire night.
Right.
Randy shit in Goldberg's bag and told him it was McIntyre.
Oh, is that
sure.
Easy mistake?
Yeah, but it's other than that, like, passable Raw, like, par for the course. Raw is stale. It's just at least it was different.
Like, the show kept me entertained, but I haven't watched Raw in 3-4 weeks. So it was really the first time I was watching Raw in its entirety in a few weeks. So like, it felt fresh-ish to me. Like, it wasn't a great show. I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, it was the best Raw of the year.
I mean, it was technically, but
it was also the worst Raw of the year.
That we didn't expect you to say. Didn't see that coming.
But was it the Raw of the year?
Yes, it actually was. It actually was so far. But yeah, I mean, my biggest issue coming out of this week is Bill Goldberg in a world title shot. Now, I will say that if come Royal Rumble, because it looks like it's going to be Drew versus Big Bill, and I'm not going to say that mean nickname that I give him. But if it's Drew and Big Bill at Royal Rumble, if Drew beats Bill, then I'm not totally okay with Bill getting a title shot, but I'm infinitely happier that Bill didn't win the title. Yes, Tim.
What does it matter if Drew McIntyre just wins it back at WrestleMania?
I don't think we need to have a 54-year-old.
I mean, he's already done the lose and win it back thing.
He's done it twice.
So what does that do?
He did
Does
it
that
twice.
Pop a rating to do that? People are going to buy.
I mean, it's Mania season. I get it.
54-year-old Bill Goldberg.
People who normally don't might, and they'll definitely watch. It's nostalgia. Like, if Goldberg wasn't doing something, they would stop.
Right.
He's obviously doing something. Whether people are buying Goldberg merch that's surrounded around a return, or if people are watching more of his stuff on YouTube.
Merchandising.
Like, what if it comes down to advertisers? An advertiser can get behind Goldberg coming back because
well, I mean, if it's an advertise, like the WWE doesn't have much of a choice. It's like the third hour of Raw.
But why does Goldberg,
the prune juice company? Who's advertising?
Why does Goldberg need to be in a title picture to be involved in WrestleMania?
Where would he be?
Where Batista was.
Against in a main event spot against Triple H.
Who else is Triple H wrestling against?
He's not. Triple H is done.
Then fine. Then that's where he should be.
But
what if
about
the
done
Andre
right
the Giant Memorial?
the Battle Royal.
That's even worse. You instead of complaining that Goldberg squashed Drew McIntyre at a Royal Rumble only to get the win back at WrestleMania, you want him to squash 29 other under guys?
Would be much happier with him winning the Battle Royal than being in a title.
Because I mean,
the
Battle Royal has not proven to equal success in the coming year.
Storyline wise, as Goldberg.
I don't think Goldberg should be in a storyline.
Let's put Goldberg in a storyline with Retribution, where Mustafa Ali says, "Nope, we're not going to take it," and they stop Goldberg from wrestling at Royal Rumble.
Perfect.
I like that. I can get behind that.
I could get behind.
I can definitely get behind that.
But you know that doing that is just going to have Goldberg beat up Mustafa Ali worse than he beat up Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam.
Probably.
They're going to mace him. Mace will be there.
Yeah, Mace will be there, and so will T-Bar and Slapjack and
Slapdick and
Rebellion,
Blake Zorp and Zoltan and
like. Here's the thing, like, whether people want to acknowledge it or not, Goldberg's a Hall of Famer.
Correct.
Goldberg is a multiple-time world champion.
Correct.
He is one of the top 5 biggest draws in the history of WCW.
Correct.
I don't think anyone on this show, though, has ever said Goldberg doesn't draw. We all get that he's here.
Right.
The question is just, why do we continually need him in the title scene when he's just going to be a placeholder for a couple months?
Because Vince McMahon thinks so. And
right,
that's what happens.
3 Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?
But we've known Vince is a problem.
That's good shit, pal.
If
he breathes smoke on the pyro and
at some point, and this is tying a conversation we had at the beginning of the podcast right now. So
about buffets,
about Jim poking the bear.
Oh, okay.
So Jim likes to fight on social media, and then he gets in a fight on social media, and then he complains about getting in a fight on social media. Just like we keep watching wrestling and Vince McMahon does another stupid thing, and we complain about Vince McMahon doing a stupid thing, and then we wonder when we're going to stop watching wrestling, but we're not. But Vince is never going to stop doing stupid things. So we're stuck in this logic loop. Eventually, if we want Vince to stop using Goldberg, then guess what, guys? We need to pack up the tent and stop watching and stop talking about it. Everyone.
We're not even calling him Goldberg. Audience. We're using Oldberg. He should understand.
Right.
That.
We're not getting social media hits for Big Bill.
But it's the cumulative you or us.
Yes.
Right, but the wrestling fans are always just going to be wrestling fans. So whether we leave I mean, there's still going to be the nostalgia fans who come back for Bill Goldberg.
Correct.
And here,
but there's fewer nostalgia fans than there are fans that still watch.
Right, but in your scenario, if all the dedicated fans leave, then all that's left is the nostalgia fans, and they're going to spike Bill Goldberg again, and Vince will still just keep using Bill Goldberg because all he has now is nostalgia fans.
Exactly.
And don't get me wrong, and I said this on Twitter on Tuesday. I get why he's here. It's WrestleMania season. You want the most eyes on your product between right before the Royal Rumble through Raw after Mania. Like, I get it, especially in a year where, and we'll hit this in the news and rumors, but Royal Rumble is going to unfortunately be very different this year. It does appear. So you want to
start the countdown clock at 7.
You want to have as many people invested into tuning in as possible. So if you can get, that guy that hasn't, really tuned in since Goldberg was around and some of these nostalgia acts have been around, that's what they want. And they really are hoping that is a barometer this year. It sucks.
My question for the Goldberg fans who are saying, well, we like Goldberg, do they like the quality of Goldberg matches still too? Not that he ever put on high quality matches, but I mean,
he almost killed the Undertaker.
It's just spear, jackhammer, spear, pin.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's how nostalgia works, though. Here's the deal: Rosie's Lunch Wagon, and an establishment in Lidditz, they don't sell good burgers. They're not good, but it's a nostalgia thing. You go and you eat one of their burgers, and he's like, God, that was
a great Rosie burger.
Right. It's not good.
But
it's nostalgic, and you enjoy it.
Or you just walk past the Rosie's truck every single time, like I do, and say, I'm always.
But so it's.
I like their hot dogs.
He's a hot dog guy.
Fuck you.
I guess
I'm
Rosie's
a sausage
won't be
guy.
A sponsor.
But it's very much the nostalgia feel. It's the taste of it. And with Goldberg, it's more than just the match. It's the backstage. It's the security walk up. It's the standing in the pyro.
Him bleeding because he hit a door.
Yeah, it's everything leading up to it. And Goldberg in his prime was energy. He was like a 5-hour energy. Just a very small little shot of Goldberg could get you through an entirely shitty episode of Nitro. Just this much Goldberg can get you through everything. And you still try to even though Jim wants to lean into the toxicity known as the internet wrestling community. I will not.
I couldn't make that and only play it once. Hell.
You could.
Oh, hell.
Come on. You've known me for a short time, and you know that's not going to be a thing.
Yeah, I've known you about as long as a Goldberg match. And anyway, there's something to it. And even if it's not anything, even if the quality is not the same, it's still Goldberg. You get everything with it.
AEW is on the brink of doing what WWE does with Goldberg, other than the matches, with Sting. Don't need to see it trotted out every time, every freaking.
Right, I saw that question on Twitter, him just coming out and it's snowing and he stares around, it's getting repetitive now, right? It's why.
I mean, I popped like crazy the first time.
Sure.
I don't need to see it 5 weeks in a row.
Right.
I don't need to see the same Goldberg program 5 times in a row.
And it's...
You keep this guy away. By the way, they sent me a free poster. I ordered the poster for the pay-per-view, Jim, from Hershey we were at.
Yeah.
They had I think I sent you the picture of it.
Yeah.
They put a free Austin poster in. was
Why
weird.
not?
Whatever, it was neat. But like he comes out, it's something special. It's a special occasion, and you know he's not wrestling.
Right. He comes out, he drinks beer, he stuns people, and he drinks more beer.
And like that's always gonna pop a rating much more, I feel, than Bill Goldberg.
You know, and here's the thing: if Austin were to come back and have a match, like I don't think Austin is coming back and having a WWE Championship match. I think Austin's coming back and wrestling. I don't know, name somebody. And X-Pac, correct. He's coming back and he's wrestling X-Pac. Like, but
if nobody wants to see Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre, then negative nobody wants to see Goldberg wrestle someone not in that main event tier.
Negative not.
I think I would rather see Goldberg. Like if I'm going to get Goldberg, like I don't need to see Goldberg wrestle ever again.
Okay, I'm gonna before you say what you're gonna say.
Okay.
I'm gonna frame the question to everyone. You have to use Goldberg for WrestleMania. You are head writer of Raw, and you are demanded by Vince McMahon. You have to use Goldberg in a program for WrestleMania. And it has to impact. Like it has to have some sort of impact. How do you use Goldberg effectively if not putting him against Drew McIntyre for the World Championship? Jim.
Or anybody. Ryan, you look like you were going to respond.
I always do that just for the hell of it to try to. Here's what you do. Then you have Drew McIntyre actually be disrespectful to people. Goldberg comes out and says, "You're going to learn respect," and he is your special guest referee. Which will lead him to spear Goldberg or spear Drew McIntyre, giving the championship belt to whoever Drew McIntyre is actually facing that night. I don't know anybody. So Goldberg costs the match, but Goldberg's not actually in the match and could win the championship.
You know, for me, I think, you know, you take a guy, not even necessarily Keith Lee, because he's not like an arrogant, you know, I'm you know, bigger, better than the business. You know, have somebody play that role. Hell, I mean, it could be somebody in Retribution. It could be Keith Lee. Have somebody that kind of takes this, you know, I'm great, bigger than the business, best thing this company has seen in years, and have a guy who, you know, was that poster child for domination in WCW, and even, you know, when he's come to the WWE. I mean, he won a world title against Triple H in 2003, and he's come back and he's beat Bray Wyatt, and he's beat Kevin Owens, and he's beat Brock Lesnar. Like, the resume is there, so he's able to come back. I don't need a title, but I'm not going to have people talk about being bigger than the business, and then guess what? That person beats Goldberg, so they look bigger than the business. They look like somebody who can take that guy out. Mark, Matt, thoughts?
About Braun Strowman.
Did it.
I say, didn't we just do that
last year?
Yeah. I didn't know if anybody would remember.
We did it because Roman walked away.
I'm not finished with you!
So then Goldberg needs to get that win back.
That's SmackDown, though. No, Braun's on Raw. Braun is on Raw.
Yes.
I mean,
okay.
How many appearances do we have under contract for Brock right now?
I think Brock is not under
I'll say I don't think
contract
he's
right now.
actually under contract right now.
I think
Can we get him back?
Probably.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean,
Let's put Brock against Goldberg again.
Can Austin be the referee again?
Sure.
Perfect.
I mean, if you're having me put Bill Goldberg in a match that needs to get people to watch, Bill Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar is going to get a lot more eyes on it than Bill Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre.
Right. I cannot argue that.
What about Bill Goldberg versus Matt Riddle, bro?
I mean, that would be dope.
I would take that over a world title.
Matt's gonna sell the hell out of that on social media. He has for a while.
He is, and he would, but I don't think Matt Riddle's in that spot right now to be there. And
I mean, it's wrestling. You could just.
I mean, despite his status right now, AJ Styles is also a big enough name.
Mm-hmm.
You can put Bill up against him.
You could do Bill versus AJ. You could do Bill versus The Miz.
Yeah.
Do Bill versus Bo Dallas and just fucking be done with it.
Here's where I'll close out this topic, and this obviously isn't an official prediction
Right.
that we'll get to later this month. But do you, sitting here today, think that Drew McIntyre will retain his WWE Championship against Bill Goldberg at the Royal Rumble, or do you think that Bill Goldberg will win the title to go to WrestleMania to defend and probably lose that championship at WrestleMania? Ryan.
I hate that I feel like he is going to win, and that a WrestleMania 37 poster is going to be a poster of Bill Goldberg as your champ. It's
So you say he's going to win?
Today I feel like he's going to win.
Intern Mark.
Yeah, I agree with Smokey. I hate to say it, but I think he's going to win. He's going to win the championship.
Matt.
100%. He's going to have that title.
Tim.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. That's
the kiss of death. all of us agree it's definitely not happening.
Good.
I put a percentage on mine too, just to extra jinx it.
You sure did.
It's unfortunate and it sucks, and I don't want it to happen, but I feel like it is. And like honestly, and it's a bummer as well. But if it happens, I don't want Drew to be the guy to just win it back at WrestleMania. Like, be it the Royal Rumble winner or figure out another way at Elimination Chamber or whatever. Like, if you're gonna do this, then make it worth somebody on the other end. Or if Drew gets it back at WrestleMania, then do your Miz cash in at Mania and have Miz come out of WrestleMania as the WWE champion. Like I just if all you're gonna do is put it on Bill for 2 months, just don't do it, please. Just don't do it. Three Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?